Getting ready to start out against Team Illinois for our first game of the weekend. We got one today, one tomorrow. And they are getting squared away. We're going to start out with Paulo Reynolds Pulauskas. Paulo muscles that back to Reynolds. Reynolds gets the puck knocked away from him in the neutral zone. Puck over to Onak. Onak and Miller starting at D, cutting in net. Standard game format today. We're going to do 17-minute periods. We'll probably get an ice cut somewhere in the middle of the second period. Paulo sets up to take the draw. Took one back to Miller. Miller hard off of the glass, looking up for Pulauskas, kept in by T.I. T.I. tries to stick handle past Miller. He blocks it, goes back to the board. Pass across, goes into the corner and up the board, and then back behind Cutting. Miller taps it to himself and goes behind Cutting. Puck left for Onak. Miller gets dumped. Puck up the boards to Reynolds. Loose puck to Onak. Onak gets knocked away, and we get a change. Nietzsche comes on. Pulauskas, good steal. Marty touches up. Puck comes out to Chalicki. Back to Campbell, over to Rybicki. Rybicki up for Pulauskas. Pulauskas taps it into the zone and goes for a change. Letcher comes on to join Chilicki and Nietzsche. Puck on the sideboard with Rybicki. Rybicki cross ice pass over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche up to Chilicki. Chilicki dumps it in. Puck down low. Letcher. Nice steal by Letcher. Gets the puck up to Rybicki. Rybicki taps it over to Letcher. Letcher walking over the blue line and across to Chilicki. Back to Campbell. Campbell, quick shot. Goes wide. And we're going to get a penalty. Nietzsche's going to go for interference. So early on, 15:27 to go in the first, Nietzsche to the box for interference. And we'll go on the kill. We're going to send out Bergeron and Kushkowski with Campbell and Rybicki. Kushkowski sets up to take the face-off. Puck won back by T.I. Going down the sideboard and down and low behind Cutting. Crossover to the sideboard and up to the point. Pass misses and over. Kushkowski gets there and knocks the puck. Kushkowski's still battling. Still working against three guys. Puck is under one of the players and dug out. T.I. goes over the far board and through the middle of the ice. Enters in. Kushkowski knocks it away. Good job by Bergeron staying with that man to make sure that he couldn't get anything going. Puck back up to the D and over to the point. Shot in front blocked and then tapped and covered. 14:40 to go. We'll get a line change. Paulo and Reynolds with Prisgintis and Aldridge. Looks like it's going to be a physical matchup today, already having to get some ref separation after the end of that play. Face off, controlled by T.I., and they bring it back to the D. Shot in front, blocked by Paulo. Prisgintis gets it and throws it down the ice. Reynolds providing forecheck. T.I. sets up behind their own goal. A minute to go on this kill. Up the near board, T.I. decides to dump it in. Puck goes over to the corner where Prisgintis knocks it away. T.I. is still back in control with it up the sideboard and up to the D. Shot in front. Cutting saw it the whole way. Stops it in his stomach and no rebound. .14:08 to go in the first. 42 seconds remaining in the kill. Same personnel out there. Reynolds to take the face-off. Puck dug out from underneath the centers. T.I. puts it up the boards. Reynolds tries to chip it off the glass, kept in by T.I. Back into the corner. Prisgintis ties his man up. Puck in skates, worked out by T.I. and cross ice. Quick shot blocked by Paulo. Paulo gets the puck out of the zone and T.I. has to regroup. Reynolds comes up to give some more pressure. 19 seconds to go in the kill. Two strong blocks on this shift by Paulo. T.I. sends the puck back, 8 seconds to go. That should be an icing. 13:31 remaining. 5 seconds left on the kill. We're going to send out Kruger and Brown. Onak and Miller at D. Face off. Went to the side. T.I. goes cross ice and then dumps it in on Cutting. Cutting slows it down, puts it up the boards. Miller over for Carter, who came out the bench after the penalty expired. Big hit by Carter. Pass from Onak intercepted. T.I. carries in, takes a shot. Blocker save by Cutting. Another big hit by Carter. Carter's bringing the heavyweights here. Brown gets the puck out. Over to Carter. Carter in the corner. Absorbs a hit. Has the puck underneath him. Kruger over to help. Brown in the slot. Puck moving, pops out over to TI. TI sends it back to Miller. Miller to Onak. Onak shot and glove save by TI's goaltender. We'll get a change with Kushkowski, Bergeron, and Credidio. 12:40 to go in the first, still 0-0. Onak and Miller will remain at D. Face-off controlled by TI. Bergeron giving some pressure, pushes the puck to the corner. TI tries to put it up the boards and does, gets in the neutral zone. Credidio picks it up, sends it over to Onak. Onak to Bergeron. Bergeron chips it in and goes in on the forecheck. Puck pushed up the far board, past Credidio and into the neutral zone. Onak, good read. Credidio takes a hit to the back. Puck is still loose and knocked over to Cutting. Cutting leaves it for Miller. Miller gets tied up. Onak picks up the loose puck and gets it up to the sideboard, kept in by TI. And then Bergeron knocks it over to Kushkowski. Kushkowski and Credidio. Credidio pass off pad to Kushkowski. Kushkowski's stuff attempt goes wide. And TI is back through and tripped up by Bergeron. No call. Which, lucky for us, puck over to Credidio. Credidio avoids a couple of hits. Gets the puck to Kushkowski. Kushkowski dumps it in, and we get a change. Nietzsche, Chalicki, and Letcher come on. Campbell and Rybicki at D. Puck into the zone. Rybicki goes to get it. TI centering pass. Just didn't quite get enough of a stick on it. And Fury knocked it away, thankfully, on that one as well. Puck up to Letcher. Letcher chips it into neutral ice and bounces. Nietzsche hard on the forecheck behind. Forces the puck to the corner. Letcher is there. Takes it away. Centering pass to Chalicki. Gets just past Chalicki through his legs. Aldridge stops it. Aldridge and Prusgintis out at D now. Chalicki sends it down and around. Comes up the boards. TI picks it up. Sends it over to Prusgintis with his long reach. He gloved that down. He's got space. Up the sideboard and into the zone. Drop pass for Nietzsche. Nietzsche shot. Hits off the shoulder of the goaltender. Back door. What a pass by Nietzsche. Chalicki couldn't quite get a hold of it, but that was a great look for that line. TI back in neutral ice, flips it back and goes for a change. Aldridge up the sideboard and decides to go cross ice. It's intercepted. Open shot on Cutting goes wide. Hits off of the backboard and into the net, back net. Prusgintis knocks it off and sends it over to Paulo. Paulo sent it across for Chalicki. They go for a change, and Polauskas and Reynolds come on the ice. Onak from behind Cutting, up to Reynolds. Reynolds tries a touch pass over to Paulo, intercepted by TI. Paulo comes in to help. Cross ice pass and dumped in by TI, now behind Cutting. Miller pins his man. Puck comes loose. Onak over to help. Puck into the slot. And a shot from the middle beats Cutting glove side, and it's 1-0 TI. So 9:42 to go in the first. TI draws first blood. We got to change Brown, Kruger, Carter, Campbell, and Rybicki. TI controls that face-off back. Carter loses an edge. TI goes up the board. Brown comes over, knocks the puck away. Rybicki picks it up, sends it to Campbell. Campbell has to battle that puck back, sends it down the ice. Brown in on the forecheck. Gives some pressure up the sideboard. Carter, big hit. Rybicki to Campbell. Back to Rybicki. Rybicki's got space in the middle. Brings it up and across center ice and dumps it in deep. Carter comes in. Kruger's down. Carter, another big hit. Turn over to Brown. Brown waits. Shot. Hits off of the blocker. Knocked down by Brown. Still has it. Up to Campbell. Campbell keeps it in. Shot. Goal! Great puck movement by that line. I don't know. It looks like Carter knocked it in, so it would be Carter from Campbell and Brown. So TI puts one in. Fury come right back and get another. Credidio, Kushkowski, and Bergeron. Priskintis and Aldridge at D. Kushkowski wins that one clean back to Aldridge. Aldridge weighing his options over to Priskintis. Priskintis up to Credidio. Credidio's stick knocks it in on net and covered by the goaltender. 8:43 to go in the first, and it's 1-1. Kushkowski takes the face-off. Wins it back to Credidio. Over to Bergeron. Bergeron stuff attempt gets blocked in front and over to the sideboard. TI brings the puck up. Knocked over to Aldridge. Aldridge up for Kushkowski. Gets knocked away. TI back the other side. Big collision between TI and Fury. Priskintis goes for a change. Miller comes on the ice. TI going for some cross-ice passes here, try to stretch our D. Get a change and dump it back. Aldridge knocks that puck up to Credidio. Credidio regroups, sends the puck across for Bergeron. Bergeron to Kushkowski. Kushkowski brings that puck in. Onak comes on for Aldridge. Puck over to the sideboard. Bergeron gets there. Puck kept in by Miller. Miller goes cross. Credidio went for a change. Nietzsche and Chalicki have come on the ice. Bergeron changes and Letcher joins them. 7:33 to go. Puck up the sideboard for Nietzsche. Nietzsche blazing fast. Down the sideboard and low. Puts the puck in the middle for Chalicki. Over to Letcher. Letcher up for Miller. Miller walks, gets a shot. It's loose in front. Still loose, and finally we get a whistle. TI is going to go in the box. We'll get our first power play. Chalicki, they grab his face mask and try to pull his helmet off. TI is arguing. That is a 2-10 every time. You cannot grab another player's face mask and try to pull their helmet off. So TI with the major. It's going to be a 2-10. We'll get our power play unit out. Letcher, Nietzsche, Paulo, Reynolds, and Onak. Nietzsche taking the face-off. TI going to get a bench minor. No, he told him if he doesn't put one in the box, it's a delay game. So it's gonna be 5-on-3 after the bench minor. Face-off controlled by Fury. 5-on-3 now. Onak back to Reynolds. Shot, glove save by TI. Late change, not allowed. So they send him back to the bench. Nietzsche wins that faceoff. Puck goes back to Reynolds. Over to Onak. Onak carries in. Back down low for Letcher. Knocked away and out of the zone by T.I. T.I. is going to get the change they were looking for. Reynolds carries the puck in. Over to Paulo. Paulo on the sideboard. Back up to Reynolds. Cross ice for Onak. Onak's shot going for the near side. Blocked away by the goaltender. Back to Paulo in the corner. Reynolds. Shot Reynolds. That one looked like it might have hit the crossbar. Definitely hit the goalie. Onak over to Paulo. Back up to Reynolds. Down low for Reynolds. Backdoor pass for Paulo. Misses. Puck makes its way to Reynolds and then back over to Onak. Back up to Reynolds. Down low for Paulo. Paulo to Reynolds. Cross for Onak. Onak walks in. Shot. Glove save. T.I. gets to it and sends it all the way down. 5:58 to go. 40 seconds to go on this 5-on-3. We get the second power play unit out. Kushkowski takes the puck up. Over to Pulauskas. We had 6 for an extended period of time. Reynolds had to come off for the second power play unit. And so Kushkowski's going to go to the box for the too many men. And it's going to be 4-on-3. So 4-on-3, Bergeron is going to come out with Paulo. Face off, pushed up, Przgintis sends that over to Bergeron. Bergeron brings it in, drops it for Przgintis, hits Przgintis' stick. Bergeron gets it back, sends it across for Campbell, over to Paulo. Paulo looking for Bergeron, backdoor. Bergeron over to the corner, gets knocked down and then held there. T.I. clears that, and T.I. is now on the power play. Przgintis gets that puck out, sends it across for Paulo. A lot of loose puck going on. Bergeron gets held and then knocked down. I mean, I don't know. Puck over to Campbell, and T.I. sends it down low. Aldridge pins his guy. Puck is loose in the corner, picked up by T.I. Campbell comes over to help. Knocked away by Paulo. Paulo now working a guy on the side. Loses his stick in the skates of T.I.'s player. T.I. brings the puck back in over to the left side and covered. And that gives us an opportunity for a change. 4:33 to go in the first, 55 seconds to go in the kill. Letcher and Nietzsche on the ice. Onak and Miller at D. Face-off, one back by T.I. Puck pass to the middle, backhand shot on Cutting. Save, no rebound. 50 seconds to go on the kill. Another face-off, one by T.I. Shot on Cutting. He saves it. Wasn't sure where it was. It was loose in front. Letcher knocks it away and sends it down the ice. That'll knock off a few seconds here. 39 seconds to go on this kill. Letcher giving some pressure. Drop pass by T.I. Brought in on the near board and into the corner. Miller knocked off the puck and goes down low. Onak battling. Puck goes to the sideboard and back into the corner. T.I. working it below Cutting and then up. It misses and out into neutral ice. 19 seconds. Campbell comes on for Onak. T.I. goes up the near board, decides to come into the middle, and now pass back up to the near board, brought in and stopped. T.I. to the corner. Centering pass. Jam attempt Campbell gets a stick on it, and then it also hits the pad. We get a change. The penalty has expired. Brown, Kruger, and Carter on the ice. Good stick by Rybicki. Knocks that puck over to Campbell. Campbell working on the sideboard. Shot in front, hits off of Cutting, and in the middle, Rybicki knocks it away. Carter tries to get that puck out, kept in by T.I. No one to pass to. Carter gets a stick on it. Brown puts it to neutral ice, and then T.I. sends it back in. Campbell sidesteps one, gets it to Carter. Carter sends the puck in. Slowed down by T.I. and down low. Puck being brought up the sideboard. T.I. carries forward. Aldridge gets in the way, and T.I. loses the handle. Carter up the boards for Kruger. Kruger absorbs a hit. Puck put back down low. Rybicki picks it up behind Cutting, sends it to Carter. Carter looking for Kruger, intercepted by T.I. and a shot on. Cutting gloves that, and no rebound. 2:37 to go. Reynolds, Pulauskas, and Paulo come on the ice. Still 1-1. We've had a flurry of activity, but no goals since those back-to-backers from T.I. and Fury. Face-off controlled by T.I., but they opt to let Reynolds pick it up. Reynolds tries to split. Puck gets stepped on by T.I.'s D, and they send it up the boards. Pulauskas takes it away, gets knocked aside. Paulo gets a hold of it, sends it cross ice for Pulauskas, and gets knocked out of play. We're going to change at D. Onak and Miller will come on. 2:11 to go. Paulo, Reynolds, Pulauskas lined up at the faceoff. Paulo tries to protect that one. It hits it off of the skate and back to T.I. T.I. goes D to D and into neutral ice. Passed into the middle and knocked in by T.I. over to the corner. Shot wide, and Pulauskas over to help. Gets it back to Miller. Miller tries to sidestep a hit, gets knocked over. Puck comes loose to Pulauskas. Pulauskas working up the sideboard, gets across center ice and sends the puck in. Reynolds giving some pressure. T.I. gets a puck, and a little escape there. Up the sideboard as they're changing, nobody there. Bergeron was on the ice but didn't touch. They wave icing. Campbell has a forechecker on. He escapes, goes behind Cutting, pass up to Bergeron. Bergeron's pass gets deflected. Pulauskas changes, Credidio comes on. Kwiatkowski and Bergeron in the zone, giving some pressure. T.I. sends that puck in. Credidio, good job by Credidio to tie up. Puck gets knocked over to Rybicki, up to Kwiatkowski. Kwiatkowski across for Credidio. Credidio gets tripped. No call. Second tripping call they haven't called. Puck knocked away. Credidio picks it up, gets past the defender and up the sideboard. T.I. starting to look a little gassed. The pace is probably pretty heavy for them, considering how short they have it. And Fury sends it down. It gets tipped. Letcher giving pressure, waiting for Nietzsche. Nietzsche comes in. Puck goes across over to the opposite corner. T.I. takes it behind their own goaltender. Chalicki giving some pressure now. T.I. loses an edge. Chalicki comes over on the backboard, gets the puck, goes up the ice. T.I. now in control, flips it high as time expires, and that'll be the end of the first period. 1-1 after one. We're going to start the second period with Letcher, Nietzsche, and Chalicki, Aldridge, and Prisgintis at D. Face-off controlled by Fury. Pass misses Nietzsche from Prisgintis, and that'll go for an icing. 16:54 in the second. Nietzsche to take the draw. Puck dropped, it bounces, winds up over to Letcher. Letcher puts it to the corner. TI gets there first. Shot in front, blocked. I think that hit Prisgintis. Chalicki picks it up. He had Letcher, gets deflected. Puck goes in. And we'll call an offsides here. Nietzsche wins that to Chalicki. Chalicki goes for a shot, doesn't quite get a hold of it. Gets a pass over to Aldridge. Aldridge shot goes wide and up to Prisgintis. Prisgintis sends the puck back around. It's going to go over on the sideboard. Touch pass by TI and in through the neutral zone. Near board, sent around hard. Makes its way to Chalicki. Chalicki sends the puck out of the zone. Here comes Letcher. Letcher gets a stick on it, and then it is deflected out into neutral ice. Apollo, Reynolds, Pulauskas. TI gets kicked out. Apollo wins that over to Reynolds. Reynolds tries to go across for Onak, deflected by TI. Onak, good stick, knocks it away and brings it in. Centering pass for Reynolds is tipped. TI gets to the sideboard, tries to get past Miller. Miller doing a really good job of tying up. Puck in, he's got, gets taken down. Puck still loose. Pass over to Pulauskas, intercepted by TI. They go behind their own goaltender. Pulauskas giving pressure. Puck is loose. Picked up by TI up the sideboard. Over to Reynolds. Reynolds to Onak. Onak gets it in, goes for a shot. It's blocked. Pulauskas battling. He's got Reynolds blocked by TI and then sent out the zone. That's going to go for an icing. 15:22 to go in the first. We'll get a change. Bergeron, Credidio, Kushkowski come on the ice. Kushkowski wins that to Credidio. Credidio to Campbell. Campbell gets tripped. Another no call on a trip. Credidio working from behind, puts the puck to the corner for Kushkowski. Kushkowski. Puck bounces away from him. Brought in through neutral ice. Puck deflected by Cutting and into the netting. Kushkowski set to take this face-off. One over to the sideboards, tied up immediately by TI and put into the corner. TI comes out with it, goes back behind Cutting. Up the far board, turn, shot, tip in front, goes wide. Rybicki pushes off of his player, knocks the puck. Puck goes back down below cutting. Ti tries to go up the sideboard and gets knocked down to Rybicki. Rybicki to Credidio. Credidio into neutral ice. Krzyzkowski's getting interfered with. Ti brings the puck back, taken away. Campbell sends it to Rybicki, up for Credidio. Credidio to Krzyzkowski. Krzyzkowski absorbs a hit. Puck underneath of him. Credidio comes over to help. Krzyzkowski battles it out over to the sideboard. Carter's come on. Brown has come on. Puck down low. Over to the near board. Ti looking for a spot. Kruger, what a great read. Shot. They don't know where the puck is. Kruger gets it, puts it in front for Carter. Sent out by Ti, and that'll be icing. 13:49 to go, 48 to go in the second. We'll get an end zone face-off after the icing. Kruger, Carter, and Brown with Prisgintis and Aldridge. Face-off one back to Prisgintis. Prisgintis sends it down low. Kruger is there. Ti reverses course and then puts it back down low. Again, D to D from Ti, and then up the near board, tied up. Looked like that hit off of Prisgintis. Cutting plays it over for Aldridge. It misses and goes up the side board. Puck in front. Carter picks it up. He's going back the other way with Brown. Brown. He's got Kruger coming with him. Shot. Carter's going to get a penalty. Oh, Kruger's still on the ice. Looked like that was just a tie-up. So Carter's going. We'll go on the kill here. Looked like Carter grabbed a stick and threw it. So he'll get two. We'll send out our kill with Paulo and Reynolds. Onak and Miller at D. 13:17 to go in the second. It's still 1-1. Ti with the power play. Puck pushed over to the corner. Miller, good protection. Tries to get that puck up the boards. Ti sends it back down low. Onak over to give pressure. Cross ice pass. Hits off of Ti's stick. Brought puck a little switch by Ti. Puck brought down and then brought back up. Shot in front. Cutting sees it. And no rebound off of the glove save. Smart. Face-off controlled by Ti. They've got it over on the sideboard. Shot blocked by Miller, and that one goes out of play. Minute 26 to go on the kill. Nietzsche with Letcher. Take the face-off. Ti trying to get past Nietzsche. It's a hard task. Puck gets pinned up on the boards. Letcher and Miller knock it out into neutral ice. Letcher working to get that puck. Ti has to send it across ice. Miller's there first. Puck makes its way to Letcher. Letcher back down to Onak. Onak puts it on net. Puck to the corner. 57 seconds to go on the kill. Ti looking for somewhere to go. Brings it across. Doesn't have anywhere. Letcher forces him to kind of push it to the sideboard, and then it goes back in. Now we're off sides. Letcher's just everywhere on this kill, causing a lot of havoc for TI. Couldn't get it in the zone on that last shift. We'll get a change, and Bergeron and Kushkowski with Campbell and Rybicki. 41 seconds to go. Kushkowski to take the face-off. Face-off won back by TI. They go D-to-D and up the far board. A pass goes behind Cutting and then up the boards. Back up for the D. Shot blocked by Bergeron. TI's got to touch back up. Puck goes across. Kushkowski gets his stick on it. Campbell to the corner, hard up for Kushkowski. Kushkowski's stick gets stuck in the boards. Puck goes all the way down. 11:30 in the period. 12 seconds on the kill. TI tries for a touch pass. Kushkowski picks it up and sends it down. 3 seconds to go. Carter's off. Chalicki comes on. Oh, Chalicki almost stole that one clean. Kushkowski picks it up. He's got Bergeron in front. Pass to Bergeron. Bergeron gets a shot. He gets knocked off the puck. Puck goes wide. Oh, back over to Berge. Over to Chalicki. Misses Chalicki. Rybicki across for Kush. Chips it in. Bergeron and Kushkowski change. Letcher and Nietzsche come on. Przgintis is on at D with Campbell. Campbell, nice little touch. Gets around a defender and gets the puck to Letcher. Letcher goes across for Chalicki. Chalicki again bounces over his stick, and then the puck is sent into the rafters and out of play.
Go, Fury!
Face off, one back by Fury. Aldridge knocks it to Przgintis. Przgintis had lost the puck in his skates. He takes a big hit. Letcher tries to get that puck in deep, but he gets knocked down as well. Przgintis back with the puck. Gets it over to Letcher. Letcher shot low. He had Nietzsche coming across. There was a rebound, but went just a little past Nietzsche. Letcher, nice touch. Knocks the puck. Nietzsche takes a hit. TI back into the zone. Cutting pushes that puck behind him. Centering attempt misses. Chalicki and Letcher have a 2-on-1. Letcher for Chalicki. Goes underneath. Przgintis is there. Przgintis gets tackled. It's turned into a football game. Przgintis with a wide open attempt. His shot goes high, but he gets tackled during the attempt. And they're going to call it as a slash. So we're going to go on the power play. $9:44 to go in the second. Fury on the power play. We'll send out Reynolds, Paulo, Onak, Nietzsche, and Letcher. Face off. One back. Put over to Reynolds. Reynolds to Onak. Onak skates the blue line, gets it to Reynolds. Reynolds shot. Blocked in front. Puck is loose. TI gets a hold of it and sends it down. Cutting slows it down for Onak. Onak's got one man on. He sets up behind Cutting. Waiting for Letcher. Letcher comes across, picks up the puck. Up the near board. Letcher carries in. Puts it around for Onak. Onak. Back down to Letcher. To Reynolds. Reynolds shot. Off pad. Goes over to the sideboard. Onak is there. Gets it down to Letcher. Letcher to Onak. Onak skates in. Shot. Goes high off of the glass to Reynolds. Reynolds. One-time attempt. Bounces past him. Onak sends it down low. Reynolds is there. Nietzsche helps. Puck to Reynolds. Reynolds around for Paulo. Paulo to Onak. 59 seconds to go on the power play. Puck back to Paulo. Down to Reynolds. Reynolds to Paulo. Paulo to Onak. Onak shot. in front and saved. Big glove save by the TI goaltender. I think it's safe to say these teams don't like each other. A little bit of pushing and shoving after the whistle there. We'll get the next. All right, we're going to go to ice cut. 43 seconds to go on the power play when we get back. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Enjoy the Zamboni. The officials making their way back onto the ice, and the coaches. We're going to come back on the ice with 43 seconds to go in the power play. Only 26 to go in the second period. We'll be in the offensive zone. Nietzsche, Paulo, Reynolds, Letcher, and Onak out for the power play. Nietzsche going to take the face off. One back to Reynolds. Reynolds down to Letcher. Letcher back up to Reynolds. Down to Letcher again. Letcher's going to come up the ice and go across to Onak. Onak. Centering pass for Paulo misses, bounces its way to Reynolds. Back to Letcher, over to Reynolds. Reynolds walks in. Takes a shot. Puck goes high. Letcher keeps it in, sends it around. It's going to make its way back over to Reynolds. 15 seconds to go in this power play. Onak tries to pass. It gets knocked away. Onak loses his stick. 6 seconds to go. Shot blocked by Onak. Letcher pushes the puck over to Reynolds and then up to Paulo. Paulo across for Nietzsche. Nietzsche gets a hit. And TI sends it on cutting. Cutting just holds on to it. And that is the end of our power play. 7:35 to go in the second. Still 1-1. We'll get a line change. Kruger, Carter, and Brown come on the ice. Rubicki and Campbell at D. Rubicki sends that puck up the glass, kept in by T.I. Carter gets a hit on, but T.I. keeps the puck in, goes across, gets a shot on Cutting. T.I. keeps that puck, goes into the corner, and then down low for Campbell. Puck gets pushed up. Brown gets a pass up to Carter. Carter sends the puck in, gets past one, goes behind the goaltender, tries to center pass for Kruger. T.I. keeps it away. Carter takes it back. Shot in front. Oh, that looked like it might have hit the post. Rubicki intercepts that pass and sends it in. Kruger into the corner. Brown comes over to help. Brown takes it away. Puck gets knocked loose. 1-on-1. Puck over and hits off of Prusgintis's skate and on Cutting. We'll get a change. Aldridge is going to come on. Kushkowski, Credidio, and Bergeron. T.I. wins that faceoff, gets a shot, it gets blocked in front, I think, from Bergeron. Centering pass misses everybody, hits off of the boards. Aldridge sends that puck into the middle of the ice. T.I. gets a shot and goes off with a glove on Cutting. Onak and Miller come on for Aldridge and Prusgintis. 6:24 to go in the second. Kushkowski back in to take the faceoff. One over to T.I. T.I. gets a shot. Puck gets knocked in front and out of play. We get another quick D change. Rubicki and Campbell come on. T.I. comes in and takes that puck away from Campbell. Centering pass is stepped in front of by Rubicki. Rubicki gets it out of the zone, picked up by Kushkowski. Kushkowski makes a move. Puck over to Bergeron. Bergeron backhand. Puck is on the side of the net and up the sideboard by T.I. Puck doesn't make its way as T.I. tried to get it up the boards. Credidio picks it up, sends it to Bergeron. Bergeron gets a cross check. No call. Another pass intercepted by Rubicki. Rubicki carries in. Shot on into the glove of the T.I. goaltender. 5:39 to go in the first. And we'll get another line change. Reynolds, Polauskas, Hollow, Prusgintis, and Aldridge out there. Reynolds wins that puck back to Prusgintis. Prusgintis goes across to Aldridge. Shot in front, gets deflected, put into the corner. Paulo gets that puck to Polauskas over to Reynolds. Reynolds' shot goes wide. Paulo knocks it up the boards. Reynolds picks it up, gets it to Aldridge. Shot in front, puck still loose. T.I. knocks it over to the near board. Up off of the glass, Prusgintis gets a glove on it, puts it up to Reynolds. Reynolds battling on the sideboard, passes it to Prusgintis over to Aldridge. Aldridge back to Prusgintis, up the boards for Paulo. Paulo's shot goes wide and around. T.I.'s going to get to it fat first. Aldridge steps in front and then tries to send that puck up. It gets deflected. Another attempt is deflected and then iced. 4:49 to go in the second. We'll get a line change. Nietzsche, Chalicki, and Letcher come on the ice. Onak and Miller at D. I don't know what we're waiting for here. Officials looking for something. All right, trying to figure out what's happening here. There's a divot in the ice. Oh, the officials are working on a hole in the ice. They are pushing snow up off, shaving the ice so that they can fill a hole and then putting water in it so that it'll freeze. All right, we got that sorted out. We'll go back to the face-off. Nietzsche to take this draw. Nietzsche, Chilicki, Letcher out there. Puck dropped, controlled by TI. Centering pass gets knocks off of Onak's skates, and then a shot gets put on Cutting. He covers, no rebound.
Go Fury!
Puck dropped back, one over to Miller. Miller to Chilicki. Chilicki goes for a pass. It does get up to Letcher. Letcher's got Nietzsche. Letcher gets taken out. Oh. We're going to draw a penalty here. So they call a trip on TI, and we're going to get our other power play unit out of Kushkowski, Carter, Palauskas, Chilicki, and Campbell. .429 to go. Kushkowski to take the draw. Face off underneath Kushkowski, knocked out by TI. TI chasing it down. Cutting gets to it first, sends it off of the glass. Puck bounces back in front. TI decides to pin. Knocked loose by Palauskas over to Chilicki. Chilicki back for Campbell. Campbell sets up. Comes out from behind Cutting over to Kushkowski. Kushkowski with a quick giveaway. Luckily, that puck doesn't go on. Campbell gets it to Carter. Carter carries forward. Carter's shot goes wide. Puck comes around to Campbell. Campbell down low for Kushkowski. Kushkowski in the corner. Back up to Campbell. Campbell across for Chilicki. Chilicki down low for Carter. Intercepted by TI and cleared. 1:07 to go. We get a change. Nietzsche and Reynolds come on the ice. Campbell drops for Reynolds. Reynolds to Nietzsche. Campbell changes. Onak comes on. Nietzsche gets a shot off. Puck goes, bounces off and then out. Onak gets it to Letcher. Carter carries in. Carter, shot is blocked. T.I. gets a hold of it, tries to clear. Letcher keeps it in. Letcher to Reynolds. Letcher to Onak. Oh, had Nietzsche in front. Nietzsche tried to redirect, but didn't get enough on it. 24 seconds to go on the power play. Carter changes, and Paulo comes on. Reynolds across for Paulo. Paulo to the corner. 8 seconds to go. Puck up the boards for Onak. Onak carries down, goes across for Reynolds. Reynolds shot low, blocked. We're even. T.I. takes the puck back, goes into the zone. Shot is deflected off of the back wall, knocked into the corner. Paulo to Reynolds. Reynolds looking for Letcher. His pass is deflected. It goes back to him. Nietzsche changes. Brown comes on. T.I. trying to get that puck out. Puck bounces off a couple people over to Brown. Brown carries it in. Trying to get a pass. It gets deflected. T.I. sends it wide. Trying to get past Campbell. Campbell and Rybicki out at D. Couple of passes. Shot bounces off of Cutting. Campbell back the other way. He's got space. Gets it up to Reynolds. Reynolds to Letcher. Letcher down low for Campbell. Campbell leaves it for Brown. Brown has two on him. Puck is loose. Predidio and Brown taps in front. Predidio and Kruger are on with Brown now. Puck gets knocked into the neutral zone. Rybicki picks it up. Up for Brown. Brown chips it forward. Kruger comes in. They get tied up. There's Gintis to Predidio. Predidio tried to go for Brown. Puck gets knocked wide. T.I. trying to get it back in the zone. Campbell picks it up, gets it to Gintis. Brown taps ahead. Brown keeps it in. Palauskas jumped on. Brown's going to go for too many men. Brown was on his way to change. The puck came his way, and he reacted as Palauskas jumped on the ice. And that's too many men. Bergeron and Kushkowski come on the ice. 42 seconds to go in the second. So we'll end the period on the kill here. T.I. wins that back. They walk the line, get a shot, bounces it off of Cutting. Rebound to T.I. and they beat Cutting blocker side.
Go Fury, get it back, boys.
Kushkowski, Bergeron, Predidio on the ice to take the draw. One back to Aldridge. Aldridge goes to Porzingis. Porzingis throws that on net, covered. T.I. wins that into the corner. Predidio is there. T.I. gets it up the boards and goes cross ice. One carrying in, good stick by Aldridge, knocks the puck away. T.I. into the corner, Aldridge riding him down. Krzyzkowski in the corner. And that'll be the end of the period. Things are getting heated. So after 2, it's 2-1 TI. Where'd you guys get all these cookies? Huh? All right, to start the third, we're going to go with Bergeron, Credidio, Krzyzkowski, Miller, and Onak. TI wins that over to the sideboard and then sends it down into the corner. Miller picks it up and goes up for Credidio. Puck bounces all the way down. A lot of loose puck. TI winds up with it. Bergeron over, giving some pressure. Credidio puts his guy into the boards. Miller picks up the loose puck and gets it to Credidio. Credidio back to Miller. Puck down, goes down low, played by the goaltender over to Bergeron. Bounces off a Bergeron stick. TI comes up to the near board and into middle ice entry. Onak knocks that puck. It goes in the corner. Krzyzkowski's trying to get it out and does, over to Bergeron. Bergeron tries to chip up the boards, kept in by TI. Onak on the sideboard now, trying to get it back up through. TI sends it over to the corner. Krzyzkowski chips it to Miller. Credidio tries to chip over. It gets picked up by TI, but then knocked back by Credidio. Krzyzkowski changes, and Paulo comes on. Credidio changes, and Reynolds comes on. TI sends it all the way back in behind Cutting. Campbell and Rubicki on it deep. Polauskas has joined Reynolds and Paulo. TI working from behind Cutting. Puck comes off of the sideboard to Polauskas. Polauskas goes wide. He gets dragged down. Puck goes low. Paulo sends it back to the corner. Polauskas working. Puck loose to Reynolds. Reynolds, quick shot between legs, hits off of the goaltender. Rubicki keeps it in. Rubicki cross for Polauskas. Polauskas' shot is blocked. TI chips ahead and goes for a change. Paulo picks up in the corner. Up to Rubicki. Rubicki over to Reynolds. Reynolds sends it around. Nietzsche has come on the ice. Krzyzkowski and Aldridge at deep. Puck knocked into the middle of the ice over to Pulauskas. Pulauskas takes a hit. TI gets the puck back, sends it into neutral ice, wide of Cutting, and over to the near board. Nietzsche dumps his man. TI gets a shot on, bounces it off of the sideboard. Chris Gintis with a big hit. Puck gets cleared, and Pulauskas changes. Letcher and Shalicki are able to come on as Reynolds changes. Miller comes on at D, and so does Onak. Nietzsche's got space. He gets a shot. Goal! Nietzsche with a nice little toe drag pull and a shot, and it is tied up 2-2. I'm not sure where the pass was from. But Nietzsche ties it up with 13:44 to go in the game. Carter, Kruger, and Brown come out with Miller and Onak. Kruger wins that faceoff back to Miller. Onak sends the puck in. TI comes up the side and past Miller. Carter comes over to help, goes behind Cutting, avoids contact, puck up the sideboard, dug out by TI. Brown gets a stick on that pass. TI dumps it. So that puck goes all the way down. TI gets another penalty. We're going to go back on the power play. So there's a little bit of conversation about the play. So there was a bunch of bodies in front of Gage. Did Gage take a hit? All right. All right, so we're still trying to figure out what this is. Whatever it is, we're going on the power play. Oh, so it's a major. So they're going to give a major and another 2, and he's going to come out. So the TI player is sent off the ice. Seven minutes on the clock. And then since we iced it, the puck comes back to neutral ice. So we're going to send out Letcher, Paulo, Reynolds, Nietzsche, and Onak for this power play. Face-off one back to Onak. Onak's going to set up behind Cutting. So for half of the game left, we're going to be on a power play as long as we keep our composure. Onak carries in, brings it down low. Nietzsche's in front. Nietzsche takes a slash. Nietzsche picks the puck up off of the boards, brings it across, looking for Letcher. Letcher picks it up, gets a shot. Nietzsche goes for a shot. It goes wide and out. Onak waiting for Nietzsche to tag up, brings it across. Paulo knocks the puck down. Gets it over to Reynolds. Reynolds shot. Glove save. Letcher gets pushed into the goaltender. So 6:14 to go in the power play. 7. I don't know why they put the 2 and the 5 together. I don't know what happened. I need somebody to explain it. Oh, puck sent back. TI's got a short opportunity. Paulo gets to that loose puck first and sends it back to Onak. Onak trying to settle the puck down. Leaves it for Letcher. Letcher coming up the near board. Campbell comes on for Onak. Letcher in the corner. Up to Reynolds. Reynolds back to Letcher. Over to Reynolds. Reynolds to Campbell. Back to Reynolds. Over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche shot off of the goaltender in front for Letcher. Letcher knocks the puck back on net, but it's covered. Chalicki, Kushkowski, Carter, Pulauskas, and Campbell on the ice. 5:34 to go in the power play. 11:45 in the period. Face-off one back, sent over to Campbell from Chalicki. Campbell keeps that puck in. TI does get to it and sends it all the way down. Cutting. Leaves it for Pulauskas. Pulauskas sets up. Over to Kushkowski. Kushkowski has a forechecker on him. Puck into the corner. Kushkowski working. Gets the puck over to Campbell. Campbell avoids a hit. Holds on to the puck. Over to Pulauskas. Pulauskas to Carter. Carter to Campbell. Campbell. Whoa! Puck still loose. Knocked out and over to Chalicki. Chalicki back down low for Kushkowski. Gets past Kushkowski and over to Pulauskas. Pulauskas to Campbell. Campbell shot. Hits in front. Chalicki. Quick pass. Another save. Pulauskas back to Campbell. Campbell to Pulauskas. Pulauskas shot is blocked and then cleared. Campbell picks it up. Gets it over to Pulauskas. Pulauskas comes in. Shot wide. Over to Kushkowski. Kushkowski with the goal. So Pulauskas' shot goes wide. The goaltender out of position. And Kushkowski able to put one in. 4:10 to go on the power play. And it's 3-2. And we get another change out here, and Prisgintis, Onak, Reynolds, Paulo, and Brown are on. Prisgintis carries in, tries for a shot, it doesn't go anywhere. Brown comes over to try to get that puck away from TI. TI clears and sends it to the corner. Onak has one man on, puck over to Prisgintis, back to Onak. Onak knocks it back and brings the puck in. He's got Reynolds backside. Shot is deflected and into the netting. So TI changes. We're going to keep the same personnel. Reynolds takes the straw. Faceoff comes back to Paulo. Knocks it to Prisgintis. Prisgintis walks in, gets a shot off of the blocker of the goaltender over to Paulo. Paulo to Onak. Onak Shot in front, off of the blocker, over to Reynolds. Reynolds walks it in, it gets blocked. Puck over to the sideboard. Onak comes over. It's cleared. TI goes for a change. Brzgintis circles. 3:12 to go in the power play. Brzgintis carries in, gets it back to Reynolds. Reynolds to Campbell. Campbell to Reynolds. Reynolds shot, deflects in front, and no rebound. No, we'll get another change, and Chalicki, Letcher, and Nietzsche will come on. Campbell will remain. Kushkowski comes on. So 9:13 in the game, 3:01 left in the power play. Nietzsche sends that to Chalicki. Chalicki back to Campbell. Campbell to Nietzsche. Nietzsche shot is blocked, hits the hand of the defender. TI knocks it out, and we get an offsides. So we'll get a neutral zone face-off here. Face-off one over to Chalicki. Chalicki knocks it back to Campbell. Campbell to Nietzsche. Nietzsche shot in front and glove save by the goaltender. We'll get another face-off in zone now. Kushkowski wins that face-off back to Campbell. Campbell over to Letcher. Puck gets knocked out by TI. 2:30 to go. Letcher muscles that over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche coming up with speed, gets past a couple of guys, knocked over the corner, back up to Kushkowski. Kushkowski drops it for Campbell. Campbell down to Nietzsche. Nietzsche circles, gets the puck back to Campbell. Campbell cross for Letcher. Letcher, sneaky little move. Puck still loose in front. Over to the corner. Kushkowski stops that puck from going out, gets it to Campbell, back to Kushkowski. Kushkowski puts a shot on, takes a hit for it, and that puck is cleared. Letcher, another sneaky move, brings that puck in, waiting. Reynolds, Pulauskas. And Paulo have joined Letcher. Letcher's going for a change, and Brzgintis is going to come on. Onak carrying with speed now. Gets a shot, goes wide, deflected. I don't know who the penalty's on. It's on them. So TI is going to go to the box again. That's pretty funny. So high stick. And so we're going to go 5-on-3 for a minute 3. Onak. High stick. Onak lost his stick on the play too. So like the stick came up, hit him. So it looks like we got a timeout. With all the penalties and whistles and issues, this game has taken longer than normal. Got 7:15 to go in the third. right, timeout is over. Get ready for the face-off here. Face-off deflects and over to the sideboard. Onak picks it up. Gets it to Prisgintis, back to Onak. Onak and Prisgintis switch spots. Prisgintis one time goes wide, bounces back to Onak. Onak back to Prisgintis. Prisgintis backdoor pass for Reynolds, gets there but couldn't get it back in. Prisgintis shot goes high, kept in by Onak. Onak off of the board goes across to Prisgintis. Prisgintis down low for Paulo. Paulo looking for Polauskas, but doesn't have a lane. Prisgintis gets a shot. His one time goes wide over to Onak. Onak settles the puck down, gets it to Reynolds. Reynolds back to Onak. Onak shot is deflected. Polauskas picks up the loose puck, gets a shot, but no rebound. 15 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. Chalicki, Nietzsche, Letcher, Onak, and Prisgintis on the ice. Face-off one back by Nietzsche to Onak. Onak gives it to Letcher. Cross ice for Prisgintis. Bridges walks in, gets a shot. Deflects. Looks like it hit the goaltender in front, and then Onak shot. Blocker save and into the netting. 4 seconds to go. I don't know if the major needs a whistle. Well, it doesn't look like it. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, and that penalty has expired. And so now we got 54 seconds to go. Puck is loose. Nietzsche behind the net. Gets it up to Onak. Onak shot wide of the net. Letcher picks it up, sends it around for Prisgintis. Prisgintis back in front for Chalicki. Chalicki gets a shot on, but it gets pushed back to the corner. Letcher to Prisgintis. Over to Onak. Onak. Puck comes loose off of Onak and back into neutral ice. 26 seconds to go in the power play. Paulo comes on. Rybicki and Campbell at D. 10 seconds. Shot in front. Nietzsche's shot is saved. It's still loose. Reynolds gets a shot. It gets blocked and goes wide. Letcher to the corner. Letcher's being hooked. That puck is sent down, and TI has killed off the penalty. We get a change. Kruger comes on the ice. Carter is on. Carter carries forward over to, gets knocked away over to Carter. Carter comes over and gives it to Rybicki. Rybicki's pass hits Reynolds' skate. TI gathers. Rybicki and Reynolds step in front of that. Reynolds drops it for Carter. Reynolds takes a big hit. Carter takes a big hit. Reynolds looks like he's got a knee injury. Reynolds hit the boards extra hard. I can't really tell. Looks like he's holding his leg. We'll set this back over here as they attend to Reynolds. I'll let you know if anything happens. Reynolds being attended to by coach. We've got some got a trainer on. All right, we're trying to help him up right now. He's having trouble putting weight on his left leg. They help Reynolds to the bench. We've got Brown, Kruger, Carter, Onak, and Miller. 4:39 to go in the game. TI pushes that puck back into their zone. Kruger coming in hard on the forecheck. Gets there. Puck dropped back and up the ice for TI. TI with that long pass, trying to get past Onak. Onak pushes. Good job by Onak. Puck comes into the middle of the ice. Carter and Onak on the rush. Kruger trailing. Carter trying to get past. Puck knocked out over to Brown. Brown sends it back in. Onak gets a stick on it. TI tries to put that puck forward. Kruger over to Onak and back up. TI back in on cutting and changes. Onak cross for Brown. Brown picks it up. Gets run into by both Carter and Kruger. Goes for a change. Chalicki comes on. There we go. My headpiece came loose a little bit, so I had to fix that. Nietzsche, Letcher, Chalicki on the ice. Letcher almost gets an opportunity there. Puck gets knocked away from him. Over the corner. TI digs it out, sends it up the near board. Pass across. One man in, knocked away by Prisgintis. TI regrouping in the neutral zone, having to try to get past Letcher. Letcher ties him up. Loose puck, Nietzsche gets to it, sends it in deep, and goes for a change. Nietzsche, Chalicki change, Letcher's still out there. Paulo and Prisgintis come out on a change. Pulauskas makes a guy miss. Puck gets knocked away. Paulo takes a hit. Pulauskas knocks that puck up for Rybicki. It hits off of Rybicki. Campbell sends it back. Paulo with a pass to Pulauskas. Pulauskas shot and into the gut of the TI goaltender. So something the TI player said, and he gets sent off. Bergeron, Paulo, Pulauskas, Rybicki, and Campbell are out there. Rybicki battling on that puck. Pulauskas picks it up, sends it back in. Paulo changes. Nietzsche comes on. Rybicki still has it. A couple of nice moves by Rybicki. A couple of good kicks with the skate. Pulauskas and Bergeron on the sideboard. Puck gets knocked away by TI. TI's got one man ahead. Shot on cutting and into the glove. Got another timeout here. Minute 48 to go. I think they're going to pull the goaltender. TI is going to put the sixth attacker on after this timeout. Sixth man is on. We've got Letcher, Chalicki, Nietzsche, Onak, and Brzgintis. TI pushes that puck back, try to get it past Chalicki, stuck on the sideboards. Chalicki and Brzgintis working hard to battle that puck out. Puck goes low. Brzgintis with a nice hit. Puck is loose and clears all the way out. TI coming up on the near board, decides to send it in. Hutting tries to play that. It gets past him up into the corner, played down by TI, and now trying to play a little high-low game. Puck bounces out. Chalicki changes. Kowalskis comes on. Cross-ice pass. Kowalskis is there. TI sends it back in, a minute to go in the game. Brzgintis battling in the corner. Now Nietzsche comes in. Brzgintis and Nietzsche pin it. TI trying to get it to move. 47 seconds to go in the period. TI digs it out, gets it up to their D, goes cross. Letcher tries to block, one in front. TI puts a goal in, and then at the end of the play, cross-checks Brzgintis. The ref saw it all, and we're going to go on the power play. So Freeman on TI cross-checked Brzgintis. As they were celebrating, Freeman got a cheap shot in on Brzgintis, and the ref saw it. No, that's Freeman. So 38.2 seconds to go. We are going on the power play. Kowalskis, Kushkowski, Paulo, Campbell, and Onak. TI controls the face-off. Puck over to Campbell. Campbell with speed. We're going to get another So a slash is being called. And now it's going to be 5-on-3. TI's fan base is getting a little irate. Nietzsche, Letcher, Paulo, Reynolds, and Onak for the 5-on-3. 25 seconds to go. Onak gets it to Reynolds. Reynolds shot deflected in front. Onak gloves it down. Puck knocks in the neutral zone. 15 seconds. We got to tag up. Onak carries in. 10 seconds. Pass to Paulo is deflected. Over to Nietzsche. Nietzsche up to Letcher. Letcher. Shot goes high, and that'll be the end of the period. Nietzsche takes an unnecessary hit. TI is refusing to play overtime. All right, so it looks like we're just going to leave it as a tie. That was one of the strangest games I've ever seen. It'll go be very exciting tomorrow, I guess. Okay. So after 2 hours, the game is over. It looks like we're going to go 3-3 tie. So we'll see you guys tomorrow at 1:20.